Hey ye, hey ye, hey ye. Welcome to another episode at Ball at All Cost. This one is a biggie academy scholar. We're going to be delving in. How do you get there? What is it like? You already know we've got a whole load of questions. But as customary at Ball at All Costs, before we do anything, we always like to do a check-in. But also, before we do the check-ins, please make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that notification button as well. Like and subscribe. We are growing. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for all the support. And Tom, making your debut, not as a guest, but as an official panelist. I'm starting with you. How are you, mate? And welcome.
Cheers, mate. Great to be part of the panel. Loved everything that you've been doing. So to be with all of you guys is great. Weekend's been good. Lots of football. Youngest, he played OC's old team today. They had a good win, and then the eldest played Brighton today. So yeah, it's been a fun packed football weekend.
And that was a win from what I could see from the WhatsApp.
Yeah, they got the eldest nicked a win against Brighton today. So yeah, it was a nice weekend for us as a family.
Nice. We love that. We love that. OC there. I saw a little bit of a snigger there when he talked about the win against your old team. How are you feeling and your thoughts about the game?
Do you know what? My boy just needed some minutes. He hasn't played too many games lately. A lot of training, no games. So I took him back over to the old team just to give a hand, and he played well. Like, he played well. I don't know about the result or the game, but it's just a game in it, so we haven't got to go too heavy into the result of it. But shout out to Tom's team, Tom's boys team, Piercy and the boys. They did really well. But you know what? There's been so much that's taken place this week. A lot of stuff taking place in the house, outside the house. But I just wanted to take a moment just to reflect on that piece with the young boy passing away, Ethan. I think everyone might be aware. Little under 10 boy.
Yeah.
Listen, that boy is cherished. Boy had a beautiful smile. I think it's impacted the football community, but obviously it's impacted the household and literally no age at all. He used to go to my boys' school as well, so they were friends in school as well, innit? So yeah, it's just I was devastating, really, and I think it puts things into perspective, doesn't it? Obviously, we're out here on this football journey. The kids love it, parents love it, but it just makes you step back and just be thankful and just almost question, like, have we got things right in terms of our approach? Like, listen, this isn't linked to Ethan at all, just in terms of how his parents went about it, but some of the stuff that takes place across the community, I think we just need to take a step back in it and just show that love to our kids, because they really need us and we should cherish them. But sorry, there's a GoFundMe page that is out there just to support the family with like funeral costs and things of that nature. So I'm sure that we can drop that link into the chat. But that hit me heavy. That hit the community heavy, and just love and prayers to the family.
100%. Dan, I'll come over to you and then I'll make some comments as well.
Yeah, it's been a good weekend, man. Sorry, you kind of threw me just here. Listen, what you said kind of threw me then, to be fair. Just thinking about other things and sometimes you have to celebrate life, not so much mourn it as such. Let's celebrate life, because I guess I didn't know him personally, but what I've heard, he was a joyful little boy. So let's celebrate why he was here. Let's not mourn the sadness behind, which sometimes I think is another aspect of life need to look at as well. But in terms of football, the boys did a game yesterday. It was a good game, good result, some good performances, promising for the season coming up. I just got home now from a session with him again, which was good. So it's been good, man. It's just been kind of a moderate weekend, nice, stressful. Dodgy ref yesterday, made a few dodgy decisions. Yeah, denied Kane an assist, Ayman, but we won't talk too much about that. And it's good to have Ayman on the show. I spoke to him quite a lot anyway away from here, so it's good to see him now close and personal on the pod and talk about his journey and what we look forward from him in the future.
Big up, big up, big up. And Ayman, we're coming to you. How are you feeling? How's things? You were the ref for yesterday's game. I thought you did a blinding job, to be honest.
It was a good game to ref.
Yeah, but go on. Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. We're delighted for you to be here. And again, just thoughts with Ethan's family as well. I met Ethan when I was working with a new kind of academy in the area. And one thing I loved about Ethan was his tenacity, tenacious, strong tackler, wins that ball, desire to win. Do you know what I mean? And I just think that the link will definitely be in the description. Please, everyone, let's just get rallied together as a community and support that family as well. And our love and prayers go out to them. So yeah. So Ayman, you for me, Academy Scholar is today, and we want to know a little bit about you. So I guess for me, the first question is just talk us through your journey. When did you start kicking ball? Maybe the teams you played, and then up until just that journey before you got signed or before you did your scholar, just so that we get a bit of background and also the positions you were playing, if you were playing various positions.
Yeah, so basically I started quite young, so I think it was in reception around 6, around 7, but this was just in school, playing with my friends, probably in the playground. I didn't know what football was till one of my friends told me what it was. I just progressed. I probably joined my first team around, I think, the age of 7, Riverhawks FC, grassroots team. So that was just there. I played as a striker there for around 2 years. Probably took a break for around 6 months. I remember my first session when I went, I was crying. It was cold. It was everything. I hated it. It was a mud, but it grew on me. So then, after a decent amount of time with Riverhawks, I think I went to go to Ryan FC. So I took a little trial there, and I joined probably one of the worst teams there out of the 3. But there was a lot of talent there, so I couldn't complain. But I was only there for a year. I'm not sure which age this was, though. I think it was around 8 or 9. So then I was there for a year. I done okay there, but still playing as a striker there. But I was still taller than all the boys. I've been a tall boy since young, so it's been quite unfair on other people when I'm playing up against them, not thinking my age. So then after that, I joined a team called GFA Loughton from the ages of 10. So I played for them around 2 years, even during lockdown. It was quite tough. I didn't play football for a long time during lockdown, but I was just at home, done a few sessions here and there. But then after that, it was in year 6, I moved to my new house now, which I'm still in now, and I first met Manny. So it all changed from there. Wow. I met him after a session. I come back from GFA Loughton, and he said if I play football, and he said to me to come over for a session. So I came over for a session. It was the worst thing. I've never trained like that in my life. It was probably my first step into actually taking football seriously and seeing where I could go with it. So then Manny only had around 1 to 2 boys then, and it just grew ever since. So I was been training with him, doing one-to-ones with him, doing group sessions with him for around a year, with his few other boys, but still at GFA Loughton in year 7. Yeah, still in year 7, under 12s. Just playing football, keep playing, staying as a striker still, maybe playing on the wing sometimes. Yeah, and after that, we got a few boys together, some from my team, some from others, and we created a team, under 13 team to join the Echo Prem. The Echo Prem to start playing teams, which went under Riverhawks, because Playball couldn't have a certified name, but it was kind of a Playball team. Manny and Jan was the coach as well, and they took us over. And we played the whole season there. We done quite well. We didn't just win the league, but we also came to the semi-finals of the cup, I think, but lost out to Levels, which was a very, very involving game. But this year under 13s is where I started getting scouted, and it was my first time the introduction to academy football. So I got scouted from Arsenal in that Levels game. Actually, I scored a hat trick that game. So after that, I went on to go on trial Arsenal for around 8 weeks. I think I done quite well there, but I felt like I was quite pressured, quite nervous. It was my first time academy system, a Cat 1 academy. Levels were high, but I think I done okay there. Maybe not enough to earn me a contract, but I done well enough. So after that, it was quite upsetting. I did cry after that, to be honest. But the only thing I could do is keep pushing on. So I continue to train with Manny, continue to play with the same team, Riverhawks. And then the season was done. We still entered as Riverhawks under 14, so we're still playing regular games. During pre-season, I think we played a team called Cheshunt, and I scored a very good goal that game, and that's where it led to me being scouted by Tottenham. So I didn't go just then, so I was just still playing the academy, the grassroots system, just to get a hang of it and be prepared for my next trial. So I went in at the very start, like a month into the season for academy level. So this was under 14 start of it. So I was there for 8 weeks. Probably wasn't the best technically there, but physically I was. But that's what happens when you go to the Cat 1 academies. I didn't start taking football seriously and properly getting the right tools to develop since young. So I missed out and lacked on the technical ability from young. But my physical ability was there for such a young child. So I was able to use that to bully people, bully defenders, but very lacked in my technical ability, which was shown in games, which gave me that little edge to not being signed. So I was there for 8 weeks, quite disappointing, but I coped with my emotions quite well then. Then after that, I was still back in the season with Playball in the under 14 season. We're doing well, we're winning lots of games, and I think Ipswich asked me to come in, but I didn't take it because it was just fresh off me being released from Spurs. So I was just playing the rest of the under 14 season. I kept doing well, kept developing, trying to sharpen up every tool before I could go in. But my mum hated, she still hates, she didn't want to do the journey at all to Ipswich. So she kept putting it off. And yeah, I finished that season, going into the pre-season, and Ipswich gave my mum a call saying, can we bring him in? So after a long time of convincing my mum, Manny, Jan, she finally said yeah, because Ipswich are trying to rebuild everything. So I come in, my first session, all the boys remember me from Tottenham. They're saying, oh, he's so massive, all this. But I was there there was only 6 signed people at the time. This is at the very start of under 15s. So there was at least 16, 15 trialists that come in all at the same time, and 6 signed boys. So I was there for my trial was meant to be 6 weeks, but I got signed within the third week or the 4th week, but I wasn't the first. There was 3 other boys that got signed before me. Then I think it was my game against Crystal Palace. I scored a goal and got 2 assists, and we won 4-1. So I think after that game, the head of recruitment, Alex, came up to me and told me I was getting signed. So I went to the car to tell my mum and brother, but I didn't quite tell them at first. I told them, I didn't get signed. Then I told everyone I got signed. They're all happy for me, called Manny straight away. And then I was doing well there. I was doing very well since the under 15s all the way to the end of under 16s, December. December of 2024, which I didn't get offered my scholar there, which was quite upsetting. But I think I thought I'd done everything I could, and it was just a game. It was just opinions at the end of the day. So after that, the next day, so we're trying to talk with Manny and stuff, trying to find where to send me next. And the day after, so I got released on the Thursday. On the Friday, I went to go train with Millwall's under 18s, which Manny spoke to the head of recruitment at Aean, and they told me bring me in. So I came in, trained with the 18s on the Friday. Played on Saturday. I played Ipswich, which was funny enough. And then we won 5-1. I scored a hat-trick and assist.
Crikey. There you go.
Everyone was loving me from there. It was a short trial period again. After that game, they were hinting me to get signed and stuff. They were saying all good things. Then we were just waiting for my next game, but they kept getting cancelled. So then I played Charlton. That was like the final decider of my game. And I scored a goal that game. We lost 2-1, but it was a good game. And after that game, I got offered my scholar. And now I'm still here till today.
That's amazing, Ayman. I mean, first and foremost, well done to you. There's so much that I want to unpick, but I promised the guys that I'm not going to steal their thunder. So I'm just going to ask 2 more questions. If you don't, how tall are you?
6'3".
6'3". Awesome. And also, I wanted to say, when you were at Arsenal, that was your first taste of Cat 1. What did you notice? What was going through your mind then? What did you see that you was like, rah, okay, I need to bear this in mind if another opportunity was to come again?
Like, first of all, it's intensity. Going from grassroots all the way up to Cat 1 straight away. Like, it was difficult, I can't lie, because they were so good technically, but also the fitness levels were high. So it was non-stop running, but also you have to use a little football IQ because it's just going there. You have to know what's going on around you, otherwise you'll get punished for it. So it was quite difficult to cope with at first there because the session plans were so much different, everything. Then, especially the facilities. You go in there, you're like, wow, you've never seen something like this before. It's like a surreal experience because there's everyone there, there's everyone helping you, but at the end of the day, there's everyone trying to fight for their contract, so they're not going to be the nicest of people.
And also, you mentioned something. This is my last question, and then I'll pass on to Tom, and then so on and so forth. You talked about the technicals. So what you had, and what it sounds like you had, is you're tall, you're tenacious, you're aggressive. You know how to use your body, and so you get that yard and bang, power as well when you're shooting. But you talked about, does the technicals, does that matter? And if it does matter, I will say, does it matter, and why does it matter if it does?
I think it does matter because when you're younger, I think you can get away with it because the defenders are quite smaller. But once you grow up, it's going to be hard to maintain that technical ability because you'll later out. Because everyone's going to get the same height as you, everyone's going to be the same, and then you're not going to have that edge anymore. So that technical ability will come into hand when you get older.
Okay. Amen. Thank you very much. Tom. Ade, welcome as well. Good to see you.
Sorry, extremely apologies. I have what I listened to sounded absolutely fantastic. Pleasure having you on the show.
Amen.
It's been a little while since I've been on.
Cheers, mate. A couple of questions from me, really, and I guess in terms of your academy journey, those sort of setbacks, do you think that kind of really, from your side, that kind of hunger from getting those kickbacks has really sort of molded you into the player that you are now today?
Yeah, definitely. It's played a big part into where I am today. Like, the first setback was very difficult because everything, I was loving it there. You're at very top academies. I mean, you're playing very top academies. You're learning a lot day by day. And professionally, you're at a big club like Arsenal. It's something you would really want. And once I found that I wasn't getting signed, I was devastated. But it was that hunger to get me somewhere else which drove me and made me keep playing. Like, I wanted that again, so I kept pushing.
The other question for me is, in terms of what extras were you doing outside of the academy schedule, and what do you think those extras, from your side, what are the ones that benefited you more than others?
Yeah, so when I was on trial at these places, or even at Ipswich, because I was still at school, we trained probably normally a Tuesday, Thursday, and a game on a Saturday. When you're under 14s and below, no, under 15s and below. So you train Tuesday, Thursday, and many sessions are normally Wednesday, Friday, and sometimes Monday, all three. So I was constantly training every day, just trying to get better. Maybe I might have been a bit tired, overworked a bit, but I was still on trial, had something to prove. But these extras, I was doing probably normal group sessions, working on my technical ability, but also working on some small-sided games, but also technique as well. So I was either doing some shooting on a rest day just to maintain and keep my body flowing, which overall helps me. Even if it wasn't helping me then, it helped into later journeys, which it was able to make me score more goals, or even just training constantly, you have that hunger and mindset to keep on going. Or even when you're training constantly, you build certain things you won't normally see when you don't train regularly. So either that extra pass, or maybe an extra detail you could learn. So when you're shooting, you could probably shoot through the defender's legs so the keeper can't see it. That's the kind of things you will learn by training constantly.
How many nights a week do you think you were training?
Probably training every day on the school day, and probably the only days I was getting rest was a Sunday, or even when I was under 13s, we were training with the academy Tuesday, Thursday, and then Saturday, and a game on Sunday. So even in the filler days where I was meant to be resting, I was training with Manny. So I wasn't getting a decent rest, but I was still young, I was still hungry, I wanted to train, which made me overall keep on going. And it was a short period of time, so it wouldn't be that much. Yeah, but the schedule is quite tight, especially when you're a young kid in school. Sometimes you might want to go out with friends, but some people have different mindsets, which would make you reach the top. And then when we move into the schedule for like under 15s, you'll be training on a Monday, Tuesday, and a Thursday, which was honestly quite difficult, especially with the GCSE period, because I was going to Ipswich. Probably I was going straight from school, so I get changed in the car and go straight and come back at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock on school nights, having to go to school the next day. So it's quite difficult. And when I was at Ipswich, I still kept on going to a Wednesday and a Friday session at the start, but then eased off later and probably went to one session so I can have a bit of a rest, because I was tired from games and training, especially with a long journey.
Ayman, can I ask, how old are you again?
I'm 16.
16. So you're in that age where they say from about 13, 14, 15, obviously, male and female, their bodies develop, their minds develop even more. How did you kind of navigate through what they call the outside distractions, i.e. friends, going out, especially coming into that age, like you said, when you're in under 15s or under 16s, you're coming into the time when you've got GCSEs, your friends are now, a lot of people on social media, a lot of people want to go out, a lot of people want to do what the crowd is doing. How did you manage to navigate that?
I think I knew when my priorities were. So either if I was going off track, my mum would get on to me, or probably Manny would get on to me, or even my brother, saying like, I've got priorities. And there is times for you to go out, but sometimes you could be doing more on them days, so you could take advantage of it. But if you do need a rest and you want to go out, you do still have time to, but maybe not as often as your other friends would that are doing nothing. But you could balance the life quite easy or quite hard, depending on what the person is. If they don't cope well with being out every day and want to rest at home. And it's quite difficult. And on social media, there's a lot that could distract you, but I wasn't spending too much time on my phone, which would allow me to not be distracted from other things, or even start socialize with my other people, other friends, just to not like get distracted as well.
Okay, yeah, that's great. And just to kind of add on to that, what would you say? Obviously, you're a young guy now. You're just entering into your scholarship with Millwall, so you're a young guy. If you could go back, and I know normally this is a question for much older players, but if you could go back 2, 3, 4 years and speak to yourself, then what would you tell a young Ayman at this age? A 13-year-old, a 12-year-old Ayman.
I'll probably tell him. That's a good question. I'll probably tell him without hard work there wouldn't be any success. So you would keep thriving, keep pushing, and to be where you want. Nothing's not achievable. Wherever you put your mind to, you can do it. So I think I'll tell my younger self that.
That's excellent, man. Thank you.
That's all good.
Oh, I've got one. I've got a question or two, guys. Do you know? Thanks for coming on, Abe. You know what I love here is, so sometimes I might drive past the park, innit?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I remember I scored like 2-3 goals in that park when I was like 20. I like the way when you were like, yeah, that game I scored 3, got an assist. Like you know the details. It never leaves you, does it? So like,
No,
yeah,
I wouldn't.
that's class. That's class. But question that I've got, maybe I'm like misinterpreting it, but what it sounded like to me is that from like the younger ages, so call it under 8 through to under 9, 10, you loved football, but were you looking at academy at that age? So what I'm trying to ask is, you must have been in the game when boys were playing pre-academy, when boys were getting signed at the under 9s, 10s, 11s. What impact did that have on you? Did you want to get signed at that point, or was it more when you were coming into like your like teens, 12 to like 13, 14, that you wanted to really get into the academy?
To be honest, when it was more my teens, but when I was younger, I didn't know academies were a thing. So I was just there playing football for fun until like around the ages of 11, 12, 13. I started finding out more people were getting signed, more people having contracts, and overall that didn't attract me as much until I finally could realize like I was good enough to be on that level. So that overall drive me to be where I am today, and when I was younger to get me to them academies.
Right, I see. Okay. And what's your thoughts on kids, probably more so parents, trying to get into academies now at like pre-academy, under 9, under 10, and like the rush to get in? Do you think there's a rush to get in, or do you think that people should take their time and stay focused?
There's definitely people that are rushing into it, but they don't need to at all. They just have to let their players develop and first of all have fun with it. Otherwise, some of my friends when they were younger, they hated football when they went to these pre-academies and academies. Like there was so many people, but only 1 or 2 get focused on, and you could get felt like an outsider or something. So at that age, it wouldn't be that fun to be feeling like that and stuff. So I think towards the younger age, the late ages, like the under 12s, 13s, 14s, that's where it starts getting serious football, and like you start getting focused on more as a player, and people would value you more, even the coaches or academies, because when you're that young, some people, there's like 20 people in the age group, and it's still only 5 aside or 7 aside, so you won't be getting good playing time, you won't be enjoying it, you'll just be there, and sometimes they might not look at you as anything. So it's best to wait later and let your player develop, or maybe you can play against academies, but not be in a system for 2, 3, 4 years and just to get released at like under 12s. So I think it's better to start getting into the academies when you're under 12s, 13s. so your boys could develop in grassroots and stuff.
Yeah,
Interesting.
you know, that's a good insight, because I have conversations with people, but I've not really spoken to many people that are scholars, and I think there's a rush and almost like an anxiety for kids to play at this level. But I almost feel like some are ready, but others, like you said, they need to develop they need to understand what type of player they are, and doing that away from academy, it might have more of a benefit than, like you're saying, being in there, being a number. So
Yeah, because some academies might make you hate football or make you play a position or be a player that you'll never grow up to be. So I think you can find your true identity in grassroots and stuff when you're growing up, and even be around friends and stuff, you know, when you're younger would be good to keep developing it. Also loving the game, so when you're older, you wouldn't fall out of love with it or something.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, let me slip one more in, and I'll pass over. But what it sounds like is that, like, your mum and your brother have been like a big influence, and I just wanted to understand a little bit more about, as you've been playing football over the years, what kind of support have you had? Has your mum been pushy, or has she let you do your thing? Like, what's that been like from that perspective?
Yeah, so my mum, she's a single mum, so she's been here doing everything by herself. So she's been a big help. She's normally more laid back, but when it comes to the time, like, I really need to push and stuff, she'll be motivating me. My brother, he's basically the same age as me. He's a year below me, so but we're born in the same year, so it's quite we're 11 months apart in a couple of weeks, so we're basically twins, but we're so close in age. Like, he understands where I'm coming from my point of view and stuff, so it'll be easier to talk to him about stuff, and he could help me develop, but also see stuff maybe I couldn't see. My mum also pushes me. She's more laid back. She lets me do my stuff, but when she needs to tell me them words and motivation, she'll motivate me and tell me what I need to do or get to the top. And also Manny and Aean and Will have been a big influence as well. So they've been giving me the football insights. So my mum wouldn't really she wouldn't really know about football properly and stuff. So she couldn't give me that part. But Manny, Aean and Will could all give me the football insights and how to get better, improve, but also deal with stuff inside football, because they all play football and know how to play football. So it'll be easier to know coping strategies they have.
Yeah, I think that's some of the stuff that the parents and the viewers need to hear. So yeah, thank you. That's got me thinking. But yeah, I'll pass over to someone else now.
Ayman, how's your day, my brother?
You
know, it's hard for me to think of a question that we've not spoke about. So I'm trying to think of a decent question. We spoke a lot anyway, but you know, I think for me, I'm gonna ask you. Everyone wants the great success of being a success story, making it easy. Have you found, or do you think, did the rejection has made you who you are today, made you that player, gave you that mindset to be where you need to be?
Yeah, definitely, because without rejection, you would live in this fantasy of always getting what you want, getting where you want to be. Because if you didn't have that rejection, you think everything's smooth sailing. But once it finally hits you, you wouldn't know what to do with it. And some people might not cope with it well. They might quit football over it. But overall, I think rejection made me who I am today. Because if it wasn't one place, it'll make me hungry to go find another place.
100%. What I'm gonna say is, well, you know, it is. So we spoke about this on the other pods. This whole word, I heard you mention it a little bit before. This whole thing. Have you found it when your profile, inverted commas, has been literally the catalyst to where you are? Like, you play the striker because you're the big boy, so you're gonna put your game to defenders because you're twice the size, 3 times bigger than some of the boys. And did you want to be a striker? Did you think you want to be as a Dan, maybe someone that can play midfield and have got silky feet? And because your profile, the coach have always put you in midfield as a centre forward. Is that something you wanted to do, or because your physique and your key attributes, you just found yourself as a striker and you've obviously run with it, and it's worked out well for you?
I think when I was younger, like, I was watching football, and I saw strikers getting all the glory. So I was like, that's what I wanted to be and stuff.
Fair enough.
So I just kept on going throughout. So I didn't really move positions or anything. I just stayed there. And once it finally got to serious times and stuff, my attributes paid off. So.
And what I like about you, and we've met for a little while now, how humble you are in terms of where you are. That's a big thing, you know. Like we spoke about. I don't keep going back and forth. We spoke about things, but we spoke about you're the new boy at Millwall, ultimately now, and we spoke about what your mindset needs to be, because you know you said it was when you first went there. Obviously, you felt the kind of cold side where you've come and taken someone's place. Yeah. So when you go in every day now and you know you're there and you're meant to be there, how do you set yourself up to know that you know someone might come through the door tomorrow that wants your space? So how do you do it? What's your focus on that?
I think it's just continuing to be myself. So either getting output like I normally do, scoring goals, which would normally be getting into the box, getting first time finishes, but also being myself. So having a good attitude when you're there, getting coaches to like you and stuff, but also be able to gel with your teammates a bit. So when everyone comes together as a team, you can get your glory and someone else can at the same time, because some people might be greedy and take it all for themselves. But to avoid other people coming in, which I haven't had yet, but it might happen. But I think you got to be consistent with your game. Otherwise, once you start slacking off, I think that's where they start looking for other players to come in and take that spot. So consistency keeps you where you're at. And then the hard work will push you to where you want to be.
Perfect. Last question for me, Dej. So you're a striker, and I know when you hit the ball back in there, it always sounds the same. But with regard, this is a quick question. It's 1 of 3: individual solo goal, edge of the box goal, or tapping from 3 yards.
Tapping from 3 yards.
Good answer.
Spoken like a true striker, innit? Tapping from 3 yards. That's a true striker. No, Dan, thank you. Is that your questions then?
Yeah, well, I'll let it be for now. Yeah,
I mean, we're doing well for time, and I know I can see everyone's eyes light up. And I just want to echo like the comments that Dan was saying and OC and everyone on the panel. Ayman, just to speak to you, to be so humble, to be so just grounded is awesome. You are a remarkable young man, and I hope it doesn't come in a condescending way, but if my son grows up to be as grounded and level-headed as you are, and if he's in that same opportunities you have, then for me as a parent, I would have done a good job. So I just want to say big up to your mum and your brother for the support, because you're a remarkable young man. And what I also love about what you were saying is that self-belief. It's very rare with your profile that you end up staying the position that you were, because a lot of the time now what we're seeing is the taller boys who are striker grassroots, they're going into academies and they're ending up as defenders. So what that tells me, the fact that you're still a striker tells me you're a gunman. You're somebody who knows how to find the back of the net. I guess my question is, and I can see a lot of the people listening, because I can see into the future, chomping at the bit. Day in the life of a scholar. You're a scholar, you've signed. What did it feel like on signing day? But also, what does a day or a week look like? Give us that insight, because we really want to know.
Yeah, normally we'll be from Monday to Saturday, which will be working. We're full time now, so we'll be in every day. So on a Monday, we'll be in from 9 o'clock to around 2:30, 3 o'clock. But I have to wake up around 7. Around 7. I leave my house like 7:30, get there for 9. And then first of all, we'll start off with normally every morning it's either there's 2 groups that split up. So for 45 minutes, one group will do their gym or their pre-activation, getting ready for training later. And then the other group will do their jobs. So as a scholar, we get set jobs we have to do around the training ground. So some of them are filling up water bottles, getting the training balls onto the training pitch, and all them sort of stuff. So I'm on water bottles, so I've got to fill up the water bottles.
That's it.
Yeah. So then after that, we'd normally at 10:30 would normally have a pre-match meeting, or of the game on the Saturday, or how the schedule's going to look. We all go upstairs and have a meeting for at least 15 minutes. Then we have 15 minutes to get ready to get up to train at 11 o'clock, which will normally be, depending on the day, an hour and a half, an hour and 10, however light or intense we do the session. Then we go back for 1 o'clock for lunch, and around 1:45, 2 o'clock, we'd either have another gym session with uppers, or we'd go into like some physio work, or we'll be doing some IDPs or match clips reviews. So we'll go into our match clips and review what we could have done better, what we could have done this and that. And then finally we'll complete other jobs, so like hoovering around the training ground and all that stuff. And then we're good to go. And then on Tuesday, it would probably look around the same, but we'd have a double session. The first one be like a group session, and the second one be more like a laid back solo session. So as a striker, I'll be working my shooting or finishing, or working my hold up play, and others, midfielders, will do some passing, defenders will do their bits. Then after that, there will be one group doing gym, one group doing their IDPs, we call it, and then we switch around. Then that's our day done. Wednesday we have our school, so our education stuff, which we'll be doing the BTEC in sports and science. So we would go in around 9 o'clock and then finish, depending on when you finish. Some people might finish early, some people might finish late. But it normally takes around 4 hours, 5 hours, depending on the time. You can finish at 12 sometimes, but normally would finish around 3 or 2 o'clock. Thursday, we'll have another double session, or a normal one session, with gym in the morning as normal, or activation, and we'll do gym in the afternoon and the IDPs, or the second session, one of the two. Then on the Friday, we'll have a shorter day, which will finish around 1:45, 2-ish, whenever we finish lunch, and that will be a light session, and we'll have a pre-match meeting before we go into the game on the Saturday. That's what a normal week would look like.
Yeah, that's a full-on week. First of all, feels like it's like being at school, to be honest with you. I mean, and then my thoughts were like, you just do maybe 2 hours and then you're done. But you know, finishing at 2-3 o'clock is a full-on day. My last question, and then I'll pass over to Tom and then Ade, I guess, is what happens if you're late?
If you're late, so I think you get in a lot of trouble. I think if you're late twice or maybe once, maybe if it's a one-off thing, they'll let you off, but you probably do, like, you'll wash up and mop the places, and if you're late twice, and if it's a regular thing, you will not play on the weekend.
Wow. So discipline is quite a big thing, you know.
It keeps you in shape and keeps you in character.
Yeah, fair. Tom, and then Ade.
Ayman, I just want to say, mate, your story is really refreshing. I think for a lot of people that are hungry for academy football, and what you've done and come in at the ages that you've come in is, credit to you, and not giving up, because I think it's so easy for people to give up if they don't get the answer that they want. So, massive credit there. In terms of like the scholars, how many scholars did they sign your year? And also one of the, I think, an interesting thing, and I think everyone would be sort of keen to know the outcome of this, but in terms of the group that got signed, what were the ages that those boys came into the academy? Because for me, like, that's a really important sort of question, because I see a lot of boys where they go in at 6, 7, 8 years old, and they're if they're lucky enough to go through the journey, and then all of a sudden when it comes to scholar, you see a lot of the boys that haven't been in the journey, and they're hungry and they've had those knockbacks, and they want it a little bit more than the boys that they've been a little bit bit lackadaisy in their whole process. So from my side, just understanding how many there was this year for you when you signed, and really knowing the other boys' journeys.
Yeah. So I would have insights from two teams. So when I was at Ipswich, the scholars they gave 4 scholars to the signed boys that were there. But obviously they have more now. They brought other players on trial and gave them scholars. But there was only one that was there from the age of pre-academy, so like under 9s, under 10s, that got a scholar. And the rest, one got signed at under 15s. Yeah, 2 got signed at under 15s, and another one was probably there from under 13s, under 12s. So then they got around 11 first-year scholars now at Ipswich. So now at Millwall, we have 6 scholars as first years. So it's quite small. So everyone's getting plenty of play time. But there was 5 of them before that I know, before I came in. And one of them was there from under 15s, but the rest were there from under 12s, under 11. I think the youngest was under 11s, that's it. Or maybe under 12s, but the rest joined under 13s and around that time.
And that's like, for me, it kind of speaks volumes, because we have a lot of conversations, all of us, individually or collectively, and I think a lot of people are pushing early to get signed. But I just think, for everyone on this call and for everyone that's listening, you don't have to rush that process. And I think that's what's loud and clear, really. If you've got the right support network, like it sounds like you did, you had those knockbacks and you come back even stronger. So yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate that, because I think it's good that people get to hear that it's just not all the boys that started in a pre-academy at 8 or 9 that get signed in the end. Yeah.
Just adding on for that, I want to second Tom's comments. I'm just going to speak for myself. I'm probably guilty of that. I was always pushing for my boy to get in extremely early, because I kind of thought that was the way. And over time and seeing his development, and I've realized that no, it's actually a blessing that he probably didn't go in so early. I think he still would have done well, but it's allowed more time to develop much more things with him. And I guess now it's helped. In fact, I think it's helped me more understand the process of the football journey. And I say that because I also done a scholarship. I done a scholarship at Barnet, and this was over 20 years ago. At that time, they called it the YTS. And in them days, we had to clean boots. So when you said that you had to do water bottles, I was laughing. I was like, they made us clean boots, wash balls, do water bottles, take out the cones. We used to call the manager the gaffer. You couldn't even call him the manager. You had to call him the gaffer. But, I know football has changed much more now. And again, just echoing what Tom's saying and Deji saying, Daniel, it's marvellous to see you as a young man on your journey with the support that you've had from your mum and your younger brother, and developing the way that you are. So please just continue on it. Stay on that. Stay on your path. Keep your head strong. Keep yourself locked in and focused. What I kind of want to allude to is, like you said, you came in at a later stage, and similar to what Tom's saying, I've heard so many kind of stories now, or scenarios where guys, whether it's in Cat 1, Cat 2 or Cat 3, coming in at later stages, you're under 12s, you're under 13s, 14s, and going in with such hunger that they outdo the boys that have been there since 8, 9, 10 and so on. But you talked about your mindset, and that's what I'm interested to find out more. You going in as a scholar now, and in my day, when you signed your YTS, it was basically the one step from becoming a professional footballer. I was lucky enough to get offered my pro and done 1 year at Barnet. But the mindset for me is the biggest thing. How are you thinking about, right, my biggest goal is to become a professional footballer and get in the first team. What do you see as the best way that you think that you apply yourself to achieving your goal?
Yeah, so I think I always look for the next big thing. So I always look for the next thing to keep me motivated. So it's either the professional contract, which I'll be working towards, or even getting a 21 debut, getting a first team debut, training, anything that I could tick off my box and keep working to the next thing. I think that ultimately will keep you grinding and pushing for the next thing. So that would help you, motivate you. But also the mindset, I think that will develop as you go on, but I think it's better to develop a better mindset when you're younger, so you wouldn't have to deal with the harsher things, and later when the other boys are still struggling with it, that will give you the edge over the older boys. So in the squad decisions, some boys might be difficult finding another team or performing how they used to be, but I think with that mindset I had, I was able to keep pushing and playing even better than before, using that hunger as fuel to get on to the next best thing.
That's excellent. That is absolutely excellent and very refreshing to hear. Very refreshing.
Well, thanks. I will. So many questions, not enough time. So, Ayman, what I was going to ask is, obviously, you're one of the taller boys. It sounded like you've been tall from young. My boy's tall. Loads of kids are tall. Question is, as you were coming up, how did that impact your game? Like, did you find with your touch, with your balance, things of that nature? And secondly, I know that you're obviously doing the work in the gym now, but when did you start thinking about perhaps S&C stuff and a bit of like plyometric or strengthening work?
So when I was younger, it was quite difficult because my balance wasn't quite there. I developed quite early, so it's quite difficult to know what you're doing, where to go, how to use your body. But maybe the physical power aspects were there, but maybe the ball's getting stuck under my feet. It was quite difficult to keep turning, and even the slightest of pushes will push your balance, so it'll be quite difficult. But I think when you're younger, like doing more body weight exercises instead of using weights, so like just keep focusing how to master your body weight, and then after you can progress into weights if you want. But I think overall controlling your body would be the best thing as a footballer, because you also gain your strength, but you also gain the stability to keep your balance and all that stuff, and the power. But once I started first getting into S&C, I think I should have done it much earlier, but it was around going properly gym and stuff when I was around 15, 14, which is quite, some might call it early, some might call it late, but it's quite late in the academy stages. Because the academy boys are doing it from 12, 11, they're probably doing some jumps, maybe not with weights or anything, but they're learning the fundamentals and stuff to grow on, to finally touch the weights and get the perfect technique to keep developing.
That's an interesting one, because listen, I know kids as young as 6 doing S&C, and I'm like, that's a bit crazy. But even today, I try not to speak to my boy too much. I'm trying to get a better perspective of his age and where he is in it. But he's falling over in it, and he's getting knocked off of balance, and I'm like, you might need to be a little bit stronger. But actually, it's just understanding the body, understanding mechanics, and understanding their age, giving them time. So we might do a little bit of core work, hollow body holds, planks, and things of that nature. But I think he's got time, isn't it? He has time. So yeah, I don't think you're advising him to get into the gym now at 8 years old. But
no, just more body weight stuff. Because once they keep that and learn that and they progress with it, they'll be unstoppable with controlling their body and stuff. It'll be quite easy with them. It'll gain the edge on other people that probably haven't done any body work or anything. they'll struggle, but maybe once they touch the weights, they'll feel quite comfortable with them because they already have that normal strength they have with controlling their body weight.
Yeah, thank you. I'll squeeze another one, like it's different angle, but just in terms of the dynamic within the squad, like with the squadders, what is that like? Do you all get on? Is there like a rivalry there? Are you all? Is there something in? Do you come together as like boys, or is it a bit like, listen, only a few of us going to get this pro offer? So just trying to understand what the energy's like in there.
I think with the second years, they're all. I think because we're in two different ages, so there's first years and second years. We're quite separate, but with each other, with the first year and second years, like with me and my first years, we're all friends. We all get on with each other, and like we're not all the same positions, so we're all like friends and together. We all have laughs and all that stuff, and we also get on well with each other. Even with the second years, like everyone's not quite the same positions, but everyone doesn't take it personally, and they keep performing by themselves, and they get their opportunities when it comes. And if it doesn't, like they shouldn't be that salty or offended by it, because I don't think anyone is at the moment. Maybe they might grow into the later stages, but everyone gets opportunities because we have such a short squad. There's only around like one sub, so everyone's getting their playing time and stuff. So I don't think there would be much rivalry between the two. So everyone's gelling together and friends, if you know what I mean.
I think there's a calmness and a wisdom that you speak with, because I think that at that stage that you're at, boys just have the opportunity now, and they know that actually it might be the person next to me, but I'm going to continue to work, and another door might open if it's not this particular one. So it sounds like you guys are almost supporting one another to try and drive on and just be the best that you can be. That sounds good, man. Sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
Ayman, sorry, bro. So our boys, they love you, they idolize, they like being around you. Yeah. It's not so much a question for me, it's more of a request. Yeah. What I want you to do, because I think our boys listen to you, they mock you a lot, they get onto you a lot, they do.
Yeah.
But ultimately they respect you, because I speak to Caden all the time and he says good things about you. What I want you to do when you're around the boys, just the wisdom you have and knowledge, share with them. Yeah. Because being parents, they don't listen to everything we say as dads because it's different. They see you like a big brother and they listen to you. They like it. You like you, And because you speak so well and you speak with knowledge and experience, and I'm not even talking about telling the boys to go and sign at academies, just enjoying their football. Like we had a little conversation yesterday about, I think it was a minute, and one comment you said about Caden, what you think he should do because they're his friends, so he should have no fear in doing it. Yeah. Is coming from you might be slightly different. Do you remember what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Those kind of little conversations. And I think our boys, when you do refer our games, will benefit so much more from listening to you because you're playing it and they see you doing it.
Yeah.
So I think as much as being around, because you're great to be around and it's just enjoyable to hear your story, but I think the boys will benefit from you being around as well and just talking to them on a basis. I know you're busy now, superstar. The stars and the ceiling is about to go through for you. But when you are around, because we appreciate you, those conversations we appreciate for me as well, I reckon.
Yeah. And they should feel free to ask me any questions if they want as well. You should encourage them to ask questions as well.
It is, but it's that they break their necks looking up at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But last one for me, Ayman, is so I set you a target a couple months ago where I want you to be in by December. But what are your personal goals for the season? Because I know I ran out of time. I want to hear what are your aspirations, what are your goals, and what would be a good season for you come May?
Ultimately, by January, December times, I want to be offered my pro contract, which is quite difficult to do, but I think I have it in me to go and pursue that, which will be quite early, but also remaining under 21s, starting day in day out, or even coming off the bench multiple times, starting here and there, but also having regular minutes in the 18s. But also, I want to reach around 27 plus goals this season, which I think is possible, and I think I can definitely get it. But I think all these will make me pursue, and I think I can reach all of them.
I'll be rooting for you, and I'll be keeping tabs every time we catch up. So let's go and get it. Well, let you go and get it. I'm just in the background.
Well, let's go and get it together. I'm on the red carpet. Yeah, Tom, you got a question? Yeah, so I was just going to say.
Yeah, just one last one. Just following on from down there, is obviously the 21s. You know, the goal scoring. You know, first team appearances. You know, they're in sight. But in terms of like short term, you know, is there ever an opportunity to kind of get men's first team and get a loan opportunity, you know, getting that exposure, going out, you know, you're playing that step, you know, it could be 2, 3, whatever it is. And, you know, you're playing against, you know, people that just head and kick all day, you know, they're grinding out results. But for someone of your age, getting exposure in, you know, ultimately National League football, is there ever any kind of conversations early doors about those opportunities? Because, you know, for me, academy football is amazing, but you know, playing men's football is really, you know, if you can get to that men's football as soon as you can, all of a sudden your profile, in my opinion, raises like tenfold.
Yeah, so obviously I think in the first year I'll probably be looking at playing 21s if I could, and then ultimately, even this pre-season, I've been trying to get men experience with training with Manny's Step 60 in Brintown. So I've been training with them, learning experiences from the other players, but also I think it would be good during pre-season if I could get a couple games with Brintown, if I could, or even go out on loan on my second year to Scholar to get experience of men's football, because I think it will be beneficial for myself, but also any other boys, because it will give the experience of fighting for results and how to play different styles of opportunity, how to play, and the physicality will be the biggest thing, which will help you progress into the actual professional first team and stuff.
No, I love that. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that.
All good.
Ayman, I think you've done fantastic. I think this is probably one of the first show where we fired almost 101 questions and managed to do it in almost record time. We're just on the hour mark. So you, in terms of your answers, lovely lengths and nice, concise, but also with detail. So I will just say, maybe I'm looking at Ade, I'm looking at OC. Is there any final questions that you want to get in just now? This is your opportunity before we wrap up.
No, to be honest, I feel like we've asked a lot, and I know he's got to wake up tomorrow morning. Actually, is it off season now? So you're not in that cycle at the moment.
No. I've been in for pre-season. It's been pre-season these past 6 weeks, 5 weeks. So now I've got my first game of the season on Saturday. So we're working towards that this week.
I'm just conscious.
Coventry at home.
Sick.
My cousin's at Coventry. He just come back from China. They went on a pre-season tour to China. He sent me his clip of him scoring a goal. He's a second year actually now. He's a second year.
I think I played him last year.
Yeah, Josh.
Yeah.
So, and actually, he's never been in an academy before, and he got a lot of rejections. Went up to Coventry, and he got a scholar. And
I think I've heard about his story.
Yeah, never been in an academy before.
That is crazy. So you're up against Josh this weekend, live and direct, and hopefully you'll keep banging in them goals and getting those hat tricks. Ayman, look, it's been a pleasure. You know,
it's been a pleasure as well.
Thank you for being here at Ball at All Cost. Thank you for sharing your journey. We wish you all the best. We will be rooting for you. We've got a keen interest, like Dan was saying, in your progression, and I also love the fact that, you know, it's so easy to kind of forget about where you came from, but, you know, bigging up Manny and Playball and the great work that they've done with you, but also with other players, and also making yourself available to the boys, I think has been absolutely fantastic. So big up to you, and we wish you all the success. And the only thing I think, and I'm speaking on behalf of all of the panelists and dads here, obviously, when you eventually get that international call for the World Cup, just make sure we're on that plane with you. That's just a little request. Just make sure we're somehow in the stadium. That's our little ask in the VIP section. But Aeman, fantastic. Gentlemen, a great one. For everyone listening, that's Ayman's journey. Please follow him, follow his journey. He's at Millwall, he's the striker there. So keen interest. We'll watch you this season, and big up to you. And everyone else, please let us know your comments, let us know your thoughts, let us know if any other scholars that you want us to tap into and maybe interview in this way. We would love to do that. Make sure you like and subscribe. And until next time, we are out.